Hey everybody, and welcome to Envision OPG One Piece gameplay. My name's Kevin, or Vision, or if you watch my Twitch, X and X Vision, and I have an exciting match between myself and Noman. I'm playing Sanji. Noman, as usual, is playing the Law. This was in our most recent locals. I had been playing Law, but because I didn't want a Law v Law mirror, and we were having fun. We were X1, X2 at the time, so we decided to have a fun game for the camera. So I decided to play Sanji. Sanji is my favorite Straw Hat pirate. He's my favorite character, mostly because I'm a foodie and I love to eat and I love to cook. So Sanji is my guy. It's really unfortunate that the deck isn't great, but I do have a lot of fun with this build. If you are interested in the build, let me know. I can explain some of the tech that I have in here if need be. But here we go. I'm not quite sure who won the role because this did happen last week. But if you'll notice my Don sleeves, they are Hufflepuff. I am a proud Hufflepuff. So, if you're not about that Hufflepuff life, I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry, I guess. You know what I mean? Noman is ready. I am ready. Let's get this thing started. All right, I will be on the play here, and I will swiftly pass because I don't have anything playable. I did get a pretty good opening hand, though. I do play a lot of vanillas. Noman tried to swing, and I informed him that he was not allowed to do that. So he's going to play Makino in beige to try to build that board, and I will grab my Don and draw. And it looks like I have a couple of the vanillas in hand, and I'm just going to start out by, we're going to start out by swinging face here, and he's just going to take that one. I'm going to play the vanilla 5K for 1, and then the vanilla 2-drop for 2. Sanji's ability, if you are not aware, says anytime you play a vanilla character, a character with no effects, with 3 or less characters on the board, you may ready 2 Don after you do so. That's why I could play the 3-drop and the 2-drop on the same turn. And no one's going to Don up his Law and swing at my face, and I will take the first one. And he's going to play a chopper and pass and leave 1 Don up. So he does have 2 blockers on board. I will ready my Don and draw a card. That is a parallel Sanji you are looking at. That is a fact. It is beautiful. And I will play the Jinbei 2-cost vanilla for free. Because there were 3 or less characters. I will Don up my other Jinbei and swing 5 face. Noman did opt to take that. I think I'm deciding if I want to build my board or not, and I just decided to swing 6 here. And I'm going to rest the beige here just to get a card off his board. The one thing I don't want to let Law do is build his board too easily. And if it's a blocker, that's all the better. I know that he's not going to use Makino to power up his chopper chump block to swing. So decided to leave the Makino on the board. And no one's going to Don up his Law and swing 6 into my 4K Jinbei. He's going to play blocker Law, pick up the Makino, drop another chopper block. So he has a good amount of blockers on the board. I currently have 3 attackers. Izo, not so much. She's usually a 2K counter, but I do like her in the deck to tap chump blockers. And it allows me to clear board a little bit easier than I would be able to normally with Sanji. Plus, it gives me a 2K counter to run in the deck. I'm going to Don up Jinbei and swing 5 face here. And he's going to drop the Otama 2K counter from hand. I'll swing 5 again here. I was trying to bait the Law here. He didn't go for the bait and tap his Law, but I essentially wanted him to tap Law so I could Don up my Sanji and swing into it. But Noman is a good player, and he opted not to do that. So Unfortunate as it was, I just had to continue on. And this was another bait, and he's thinking about it. Noman's still not. He almost did, but Noman's a smart player. He decided not to tap his law, and so I will play out my turn. And I'm going to leave 3 active Don, and I'm going to play a killer block with a Don under it, so I get the draw because I do have 3 characters on board. Sanji is a very good aggressive early game. If you can survive through the mid game and get to late game, he's a lot better. I run 7K or a 7 drop kid rather in this deck because I like the offense and defense component of that card. So I run 2 of him. I run 1 8 drop kid just in case I could ever fit it in. So that's kind of what I'm working with right now. But I really do enjoy this build, and it's won me more games than lost me. So take it for what it's worth. But if you're interested, I will post a deck list. Just let me know. Leave it in the comments. Noman counting out is done here. He's going to play the Otama, minus 2K to my Shinobi. And then he's going to just swing 5 into 3. I will use the killer block here to get the free draw. It's pretty much a dead card anyway, but it allows me to play it before he gets the chance to find a way to out it. And there is the Rush Zoro. And he will swing 5 into 3 again. And this is where the deck gets fun. I'm going to play the 3-cost event counter card that allows me to play a vanilla 3-cost or less. And because it's Sanji, I get to ready 2 Don. So you'll see a few events in this deck, but that is a 6K counter. That is the 3-sword style event counter in green. It is a fantastic card. It's essentially green's Deathwink, but it has that added wrinkle of being able to play a vanilla from hand, which is nice for Sanji specifically. And Noman's going to shambles here, play the restand law to stand up his Zoro, and Zoro's just going to swing 5 into my 3 again, and I'm going to let that one happen. But I was able to keep or add a 5K attacker rather to the board and maintain pressure. So I run the 3 drop 6K event counter as a 4 of in the deck. And Law here he's at 1 life, but he's got a full board and 3 blockers showing, so it's going to be really tough from this point on to out his board. He does have 3 cards in hand, so my attacks, I need to try to get them to 6 or possibly bait Noman into blocking with Law. One of my attacks if I want to go about it that way. So first attack here, I'm going to bait the Law again, just swing 5K into the Zoro and see if he takes the bait so I can try to out his Law. And he's just going to let the Zoro go. Smart play. Don up Jinbei, swing 5 face. And he is going to turn the Law sideways. So now I have an option to try to out the Law. Now, I can't remember exactly what was in my hand. I did have to change the camera angle, so this one was a little bit different. You can't really see what's in my hand at the moment. I believe I had another 3-cost event counter in my hand, and I had planned on playing it the following turn to continue building my board. So I was really in the tank on whether or not I wanted to go for trying to out the Law block. And I'm just going to Don up 6 and swing. Not sure if this was at the Law or face. I know he's at 1 life, so that is a 2K counter, so it must have been at face. 6K face. And he's at no life, so I'm essentially trying to survive this turn and have 1 to 2 attackers on the next turn to maybe push for lethal if possible. And I'm going to pass. I've got 4 active Don, and that would suggest that I had 2 event counters in hand possibly, or I had 1 and I was banking on drawing 1 for my damage if possible. He should be feeling pretty safe, but if he can out my board here, he should be in a pretty good position going forward. He does play the Otama and minus his 2K to my Edward Weevil, making it a 3K base, so that becomes an easy target. I saw a lot of the vanillas. Didn't see a lot of my draw pieces. And he's just going to swing 7K into my Edward Weevil, and there is the other event counter to play a 3-cost vanilla from my hand. And I'm going to play the Usopp, and you Sanji go to ready 2 more, suggesting to my opponent that I have at least one more 3-cost counter in my hand. So it also kind of makes him wary of how he needs to possibly don up to out some of my cards. Having the 3 active don cards does make him a little hesitant, but he's just going to swing 5 into the 3. I'll take that one. But he's essentially just trying to out my board here, get some of that pressure back. He does play the restand law with Shambles here to restand his other restand law. That's confusing. The one that can attack. Nope, he's just going to swing 7 at the Ezo. That's perfectly fine. And he is going to swing with the law blocker here. And he's just going to clear as much of my board as possible. I did not have the counters in hand. And there's the jet pistol to out my entire board. And that was a well done turn from Noman. I could see why he's in the tank with that. He had to make sure. He had to be wary of the active Don cards that I had, which is perfectly reasonable. And I am trying to figure out how to do 1 point of damage to him. It's not looking good. It's just not. It looks like I have a Boa in hand, the Boa blocker. So that does allow me to draw a card if it doesn't get jet pistoled. I do leave 3 Don active, and my goal is to leave 3 Don active most late game turns in case I draw one of my 4 or 5 3-cost counters in my deck. And so if I draw one off damage, then I'll have the ability to actually play it. So that's kind of my mindset going in, is to, if I hit on damage, I will have enough Don to allocate to play a 6K counter and possibly save the game. I'm going to Don up. I'm going to swing 6 here at the, 6 here at law. He does counter 2K. I say at the law like there's not 3 on the board. And I'm just going to play Frankie here, and then I am going to play the Boa for the draw because I do have 3 life, and I think I can survive without leaving 3 Don active, and I have a potential draw piece here. And a 7K attacker is very nice because it doesn't get hit by jet pistol, but I do have 1 single card in hand. I think Noman's trying to figure out if he wants to push for game here. Does swing at face. I gladly take because I am just starving for cards. And there's 9 face, and I will take that one as well. There's another 9 face. He has 2 active Don, and I will take that one. And he's just going to pass. So I have a couple attacking options here. He has 3 blockers, and so it does make it tough because I only have 3 attackers. So I need to make sure. I need to do what I can to try to out one of the chump blockers if possible. And I believe I top deck the Ezo here. And so I've got to allocate 3 Don just to out one of those and then try to swing for game. And so I realize here that if I'm unable to end the game, then I likely lose. So I play the Ezo, tap one of the chump blockers, and I'm left with. Did I not grab my Don? Oh, that's truly unfortunate. I did not grab my last Don. I don't know that it would have mattered necessarily. I'm going to swing 7 here. And he had 3K counter from hand, and so he knows I've only got 2 attacks left. He has 2 blockers. Mathematically not possible. Maybe if I go 8, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 Don. I can go 8. I can go 8, 8, 7, and either way, he's got enough for one of them. So at this point, I know I can't end, and I've got to try to play for defense. So I know I need to leave 3 Don up, put a Don under Boa, and I do play a beige chump blocker here. And so if I'm fortunate enough to draw the Death Wink or the 3 Swords style event counter with Boa block, then I'll get super lucky. Now it's just a matter of swinging. Noman's going to don up his law here and swing 7 at my face. And I will block with 3 cards from hand. He's going to swing 6 at my face. I will use beige here. Another 6, and I did not get lucky. He's going to swing 10, 11. Yep, and that's the game. Unfortunately, unable to get the win against Noman's very, very good, consistent law build. But I did have a lot of fun playing Sanji and building Sanji. He is my favorite character, so I had to show him a little bit of love on the channel. That is a Punk Gibson also in my deck. Guys, if you want the build, let me know. Throw it in the comments. I'll post it at some point, I'm sure. But until it's good, it will not see tournament play at all. Before I go, big shout out to Anthony Casella, Iron City Games. Those guys over there, they're fantastic. And big shout out to my own crew, Jarrett Hubbard, Jose Huscanga, Noman Irfan. These just a few of many of the people that helped me bring a lot of these games to life, and I appreciate everybody that's involved. And big shout out to you guys, the fans. I love getting the feedback. I love seeing a lot of people get better and love the game and show appreciation for what it is we do. It motivates me even more, and I want to say thank you to all of you guys as well. And until next time, have a great rest of your day.